it's none other than Noof Asiya on the podium to perform on FACEx talk show.
Noof's passion for writing and public speaking reflects her deep interest and love for these pursuits. Here we have Noof Asiya on the stage to have a fabulous performance.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Noof and I'm coming from Kannur. As you have guessed, my topic is social media. We know very well about social media, and we know social media is built to develop our skills and talents. And also for another purpose, yes, socializing. To socialize with people beyond geographical boundaries. But is social media doing this job in a right way? Well, this is not my question. It's a question that has been prevailing in social media platforms itself. The question is, does social media make us unsocialize? I'll share my perspective. I had my own Instagram page before I was even getting into my seventh grade, and I knew people like Kim Kardashian before I was even 10 years old. And I used to compare my life to hers. She was an adult and I was a teenager, and I used to do that. Proudly saying in front of you, we all did that. And that is where we are lacking in. I'll explain you. Once you start posting those photos of yours, which is extremely photoshopped and with fake smiles, and you do hashtag love yourself. But at this point, are we loving ourselves or just following a random trend? Just following a random trend that your favorite influencer or celebrity just did. That's what they're doing, that's what we are doing. Social media is never real. It can never be real, even though it seems it's like. And let me tell you my experience. During the post-COVID situation, I had a lot of friends from different continents. And when I went to school, back to school, I knew friends from WhatsApp, and I knew teachers from WhatsApp, but I couldn't communicate. I was a really extrovert person before this, and I couldn't even make basic conversations with my teachers and friends. And I was embarrassed because I thought the Noof inside me was changing. I thought a Noof was becoming this introvert person, which I am never been. I put an effort in it, and look at me. I'm standing in front of you as the most extroverted person in this room. That's where things change. Another thing that we do on social media is cut these interpersonal relationships with our family members and friends. We do that all the time. I have this friend from Philippines. She deals with anxiety, depression, and more. And she hasn't talked to her mom about it. It's been a year. It's been a year since she had ever made a basic conversation with her own mom, who had raised her to the age of 18. And she doesn't feel like her mom is worth the conversation. And who's worth the conversation is a friend she just met 2 days ago online. They are worth the conversation, but not the mom. And that's where the young society sitting in front of me, the youth, that is tomorrow's future, is lacking in. And where humanity fails and where interpersonal relationships are ending. I see this every day. Whenever I walk through a restaurant, I see people who are perfectly together, but they're not looking at each other. They're looking at their phone, probably posting an aesthetic selfie because maybe an aesthetic story matters than the person sitting in front of you. That's what you think. And someone does that to me, I might be really annoyed. Most of us would be. And this is what we are doing right now. And we are aware of this. At this point, my dears, it's not social media. It's not social media that's harming us. We choose to be harmed down. We choose to be harming ourselves. We choose the situation which is problematic. It's not social media that's problematic. The one problematic here is us being the controllers of social media to being in control of social media. At this point, we create bridges by creating boundaries on the other side. At this point, we waste our time, the valuable time of my youth or your youth, which is to be used for the future, which is tomorrow's future. Our youth, right now, the Gen Z is known as, yes, we all know, social but not so social. Why is it like this? Because of this cutting thing I said about interpersonal relationships and wasting time. Wasting time by scrolling. You keep scrolling until your phone's battery is exhausted or the phone's dead. We have all been there. All of us have been there. And we keep doing this, being aware that this is the valuable time that should be used for developing our skills and talents. As I said in the first, that's what social media is built for. Social media can create two things in my words, boundaries and bridges. And what we should focus on, creating bridges, but not putting a boundary to the real life, by not putting a boundary to the interpersonal relationships with our family members and other valuable ones. Once you start understanding the pros and cons of social media, you understand what should be done and what shouldn't be. And that's when humanity is going to win. And that's when technology is going to win in a right way. In a right way, that's how it should be utilized. As I said before, it's not social media. It's not social media, any platforms that's in front of us, it's just us. The way we change our mindset not from one day. I haven't changed my mindset from one day or something like that. I'm here standing in front of you after millions of efforts. And I want you guys to take those efforts and develop your skills and talents, because this is the youth, or this is the time we could do it. Social media can help you with all sorts of things. It can bring you employment opportunities and more. But out of that, we have a world that desires to be perfect, a world that desires to be influential. But let's change this world thing to a world where we give values to kindness, humanity, interpersonal relationships, and time. Not insecurities. Because Kim Kardashian had posted a glamorous pictures of hers, and Noof can do that. Doesn't mean Noof has no talent. Kim Kardashian may have hundreds and thousands of likes more than mine. But does that make anyone better? Does the number of your likes or shares or your followers make a person better? It doesn't. In my words, social media might come to an end in the future or might get out of hands. But right now, living in the present, I want all of you to live with social media. Yeah, by thinking how it should be used and knowing how it should be used, making it utilized or beneficial to us. We should never benefit from social media. Social media should never benefit from us. It's us who should be benefiting. And I hope you understand the pros and cons of social media, and I have conveyed my words in the clearest ways I could. And once again I say, create bridges, not boundaries, because everyone deserves to be loved. Thank you.